It's been such a long time since we last.
Yes, the last time we were here, it was when you were planning for the activity, right?
Yeah, it was about 3 weeks ago.
No, it was in April, right? So
April.
yeah, the activity was in April, more than a month ago. 1 month is 4 weeks.
Nope, the activity is. You mean the inch corner?
No, the no
My
the
competition?
no the one that did in the dating, right?
Dating? No. No.
Hmm?
The last time we met is.
No, not that we met. That we met here.
Uh-huh.
Remember
Yeah.
the president of the English Association
Yeah.
I was talking to him, and then he calls you. You came, and we sit here for a long time, walking, talking about the activity.
Yeah.
Not that we did not met after that, but the last time we met here.
Yeah, I remember, and
Yeah.
today is really cool as
Yes.
I imagined. Yeah.
Today is a nice day, I guess.
Yeah. So your dormitory is this way.
Yes, just the other side of this building.
The other side.
This is the bygone house, right?
Behind. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the next building is my home. What?
Yeah. I just have some confusions
About what?
about how to regulate my emotions and how to deal with the problem. Involution. And you know this word, involution?
Evolution?
Yeah, it has been entitled new meaning in
Okay.
today's society. Yeah, it means that more and more people, they all want to compete with each other with an aggressive way. They all want to be successful, but the resources are so limited. So
Yes.
they compete very aggressively, but the outcome they get are not as
Good.
expected. Yes, as good as expected. It brings an anxiety.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. When we are under competition, I noticed, for example, students in the last month like this, right? A lot of final exams, a lot of they feel they go study because they wanted to have good grades and everything. It's kind of feel exhausting, emotionally drawn, right? Those things are common. You need to learn how to deal with those things, right? For example, now that I'm older, that I have more experience, I see that a balanced life is the best that you can have, because you can do, for example, stressful things only so much. For example, when you're young, maybe you can devote a lot of time to working hard because you have a physical strength. It's kind of nice, but you cannot do this forever, right? So as you keep doing this for 1 year, maybe more, you're gonna get your health is not good. You're gonna have some problems, right? So is that okay for to do it for some time, just like try to get some results that's gonna benefit you in the future? But live like that's not good.
But the problem is that there are so many different choices for me,
Yes.
and I feel disoriented.
So what are you talking about specifically? So you need to make a decision. You don't know how to make it.
Yeah, in this society of evolution, I feel anxious, but I
So
don't
what
know
what
where to
what are
start.
your options that you don't know what to do? So
My future job, about choosing my future job, and whether I will apply for a master degree or whether I would go to work directly after I graduate. Or,
for example, there is one program in the United States that I know many students did try to do it. I kind of consider it, but it was the university would not accept me. It was a master degree in business, right? So they only accept students who have already job experience. They have work for some time. They do not get, for example, one student who graduates and then jumps directly to the master degree, because this kind of a master degree from that university, they try to work have already working experience, because they wanted to improve that, right? So if you don't have an experience, you'll be in class. Well, I don't know. I never had this experience, right? But if you're having this experience, you bring something to contribute. So it's all depends in what you want to do, because the most important thing is you need to enjoy what you're doing. Otherwise, your life is going to be miserable. Whatever, if you're doing whatever master degree or working, you need to understand where do you want to go. Because, for example, if you want to go here, right? So it doesn't matter. It might be difficult, but you're going to the place that you want. So find the motivation to keep doing things that you wanted to arrive there. But if you're going to a place that, for example, I don't want it to be here, but you're going there, if you find it very hard to find a reason to keep going there. So it's more likely that you end up giving up one day when it's too much. It's not even what I wanted. So why am I doing this, right?
Yeah. But unless you try, you may not get
Yes,
to know it.
unless you don't know what you wanted, maybe you want to try to do things to get to know yourself better. And this is why, for example, your job is not a permanent thing. So if you start doing something like as a job tomorrow, you don't need to stay there your whole life, right? You may just do it because you wanted to learn.
Yeah.
So job is not a permanent thing. There's a lot of things that you can do just for learning. So some people go to abroad to learn a new language, and they come back to their own country, but it's kind of a opening up experience. They see another culture, or they see another how people think different. You can learn something. You may end up enjoying it. You don't know that. You never went outside. It's always a matter of opportunities and what you wanted to do, and keep your values, right? So don't do things that you're gonna regret later. For example, I know this is a wrong thing to do, and then you do it. Maybe later you're gonna regret. This has to do with your values, right? This is important to you. I believe in this, so don't break up your own rules.
Yeah. I think you do have a point. But I have another problem, that there is a phenomenon in China, in Chinese students, that when in junior high school and senior high school, they will compete in a good way. They all want to get to know more knowledge and encourage.
I have heard that the competition in the high school is too hard. The students study too hard in high school.
Nowadays, yes, but in the past, the competition is, well, how to say, is good, not aggressive.
Not so aggressive like it is right now, right?
Yeah, but in today, like in campus, in our little dormitory of 6 people, sometimes I feel that I have one roommate. She likes to study on her own, and won't let others to get to know what she is doing. But she will
because she wants to be better than the others, right? So she's kind of I know this little secret. I would not share with the other world to benefit. Well, let me share you a story, okay? I'm gonna give you a perspective, so you may take decisions from yourself based on this story, okay? Let's suppose that we have a bunch of people here. We're gonna play a game with them, and the game is like this: I give $100 to one person, and then he's going to keep it only if he shares part of this $100 with someone else. Okay? So let's say I give it to you $100, and you have your co-workers, colleagues here, right? They don't know about this, right? I'm just talking to you. They are not hearing what am I talking to you, okay? So I give you $100 and say, well, you can keep it if you share some part with someone else. Okay, now you go and find someone that it can share. How much you are going to offer this person? For example, you can offer from $1 to $99, right? So I want to give you $1, and then you can keep it the 99, because the reason the requirements that you need to share. Doesn't matter how much you need to share. You need to share something to keep the rest. So I give you $100 and you go outside and share. How much are you going to offer?
20.
20?
Yeah.
Why not 1?
Yeah, it is my intuition. Yeah, just the number just hit me. Yeah.
Okay, why not 70?
17.
Yeah. I'm just asking why 20? Why not, for example, I feel like some people, well, for example, if you come and tell me, here's $1 for you, I would accept it, right? I don't need to do anything to get this $1. So you don't need to offer 20. But I'm asking, why do you offer 20? But if you say you offer 20, why not offering 70?
Well, I think Chinese people are tend to choose the number which seems very complete. Yeah.
Okay.
Round. Yeah. Just
Okay.
yeah.
But why not one? You don't need to, for example, do you think the other person will not accept you for give them $1 for
Well,
free, for nothing? Just give you $1. Instead of give you 100, I give you $1. You don't need to do anything. Would you accept it?
Yeah.
Yes, right? So it's very easy to go to someone, I'll give you $1. Do you want it? Yes. Okay, now you can keep the 99. That I give you 100, right? You give just one. So you give some part, and then you can keep the rest. So most people would give
$1.
no, like less than 50.
Less than 50.
Yes, in your case you're giving 20.
50 cents.
No, $50.
$50.
They give less than 50. They wanted to keep the bigger part for themselves.
Yeah.
It's normal. It's the human nature. We always want more than the others.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that we are bad people because we're doing this. Okay, it's our human nature. We think about ourselves first instead of the other.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Now that we got this part, now think about it that we are seeing this. I'm playing this game with this bunch of people, right? I'm giving $100 if someone just shares some part. So we are watching those people, right? So we're watching people, and then we see a lot of people are, I'm gonna give 20, and there's one person. This person is giving 70, right? So we are here watching those people playing, right? I'm giving $100, and they have to share. Everyone's sharing. I'm gonna give 20. I'm gonna give 10. Always less than 50, because they wanted the biggest part for them. So, but now there's one person. This person is instead of giving, they're giving 70.
70.
Yeah, they only keep 30. Okay. Now I want to ask you. For example, we are watching. They're playing the game. Now I ask you, well, I'm gonna play this game with you. So you need to choose one person to play the game with. Which person would you like to play the game with?
Play which game?
For example, this game about I'm giving $1 and they're sharing.
But they already has done the game. Yeah.
Yes, but we're just watching. Now we are watching, right? So I am giving them $100. They have to share with someone. Okay, you are watching with me, and we saw this one person. This one person is different than all the others. They're not giving less than 50. They are giving more than 50. All the other persons giving $20, $10, or $1. Maybe $1. This guy's really greedy, right? I want to keep 99 for me, so he's giving $1. But this one person is giving 70. Now I ask you, if you wanted to play a game with those people, who do you want to play with?
If I play with those people, would they spare their money?
Yes, you'll be the second person. For I give you the $100 to the first person, and they need to share with the second person. So you will be the second person. Who is the one that you wanted to play with?
Of course, the one who shares $70 with others.
Yes. So now think about it. Everyone would like to play with this person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if everyone has to play with this person is gonna have no time to play with everyone, because everyone wants to play with this person. So for example, if this person play 10 times, how much this person has it? She's keeping 30. So she plays 10 times. How much does this person have?
Let me think.
30 times 10? 300, right?
300.
Yes, 10 people wants to play with her because she's giving more money to other people, right? So she's keeping 30. Now she plays 10 times. So 30 times 10, she gets 300.
But has to share the 70%
Yes,
of
she
300
she
for
gave
us.
700, but she keeps 300. Okay? Now think about it. If you are playing like this, you're giving 70. Maybe not too many people wants to play with you. For example, you're choosing the one who's giving 70, right? So you're not gonna choose the person who is gonna give you 20, right? So if you're the person who's giving 20, you have a lot of less people who wants to play with you. Maybe you're gonna play 2 times. So you keep 80, 2 times 160. The person who's giving more have more
Receives
opportunity
more.
have more opportunity to play. Maybe she's gonna play 10 times. So 10 times 30 is 300 more than 160. Because you only play twice. Not many people wants to play with you because you're giving less. No one's gonna play with the guy who's giving $1. So maybe he has no one to play with him because he's giving only $1. So in the long run, you see, this strategy of giving more is the best one. So there's a lot of people in this world, and some people feel like the world does not have enough for everyone. So the world is a scarce place. There's not enough money for everyone. There's not enough food for everyone. There is not enough money for everyone. But there are people who feel a little bit different. Well, there is enough for everyone. They kind of share more. People wants to play with them, and they are the people who have the fullest of their life.
Yeah.
So if you make decisions based on this, I think you're gonna be happier, you're gonna be richer, you're gonna be fulfilled more than anyone else. For example, I am a person, I can only eat so much. For example, what I'm trying to say is, I can be the richest person on earth. I can buy one car, for example. I can maybe buy a better car or not, but I can only drive one car. I can drive 100 cars at the same time. I am one person. I can eat this amount of food, not because I'm making more money that I'm gonna eat 10 times the same amount of food, right? I can only eat so much. So in the reality is what I meant is, money is important. When you have your needs fulfilled, it does not become so much more important anymore.
Yeah.
For example, if I'm rich, I can buy more than one home, but I just need one home to live. As long as I have one home, everything is fine. For example, if I have 100 homes, I cannot be in those homes. I cannot be in those homes at the same time.
Yeah.
I just need one home.
Yeah.
Do you get my point?
Yeah. People are always pursuing much better than they actually need.
Yes. What I'm trying to say is, you need to go in the place that you wanted to go, right? Have a balanced life. For example, sometimes people are working too much, neglecting their family. They don't spend time with their wife, they don't spend time with their kids, and then when they're old, close to die, they feel like, well, I had this amount of money, I'm not gonna take the money with me when I die. They're not missing the money, they're missing the relationship with their wife, their kids. They feel like, oh, if I have the chance to go back, I will do differently.
Yeah.
Don't be that person, right? Learn from people with more experience. I'm sharing this with you so you can, for example, you're still young, you're gonna make a lot of decisions in your life about your job, about your family, about things, right? Have a balanced life. Work is important. You have to support yourself, you have to buy your stuff, right? But it's not the most important thing. Because if you're doing something that you're miserable, and then you're gonna maybe live 4 years and then look at back, well, I'm being miserable for the 4 years of my life. Would it be better if I have more time to spend with my kids, my husband, right? Sometimes you need to trade. For example, maybe you cannot have 2 homes, maybe 1 home, but then you have more time with your family. I have seen executives, people who have more money, abandoning their highest position in their company to have a more balanced life, to spend more time with their family. And they learned this the hard way. They kind of lost a long time. They kind of lost some part of their lives. Say, well, I'm not fulfilling in this way. Just stressed out. Just, I don't know. This is a perspective, right? and not because some people feel like they're greedy, right? They feel like there's no job for everyone. I need to be better than others. It's not like that. You can be a good person. For example, you learn much better when you're teaching someone.
Yeah.
For example, if we're studying together, your classmate doesn't know the subject. Okay, I'll help you. I know this. So you go over. This is do it like this. Help her solve the problem. You're memorizing this subject much better because you're teaching someone.
Yeah.
So study alone because you don't want to share your secret may not be the best strategy.
Yeah, I think so. I have read a passage about try to reduce the unnecessary things, remove the unnecessary things from your life, like moving to a smaller apartment and the dispose the things that you actually don't need.
Yes.
And try to buy things that have multiple functions.
Okay.
Yeah, and after doing this, the person feel much more happy, much more happier
Yes,
and
less.
content.
Yes, for
than
example,
before.
if you buy a really big home, this is gonna give you a lot of trouble to just maintain the home. So it's actually to having more is not always the best thing. So, for example, if you have a home, a room for yourself, room for your kids, and then enough space to do whatever you need, you don't need a mansion, right? Because if you have rooms like those rich people, like 30 rooms, 20 restrooms, 3 swimming pools. Well, they cannot swim in all 3 pools at the same time. They cannot sleep in all the rooms at the same time. They're just gonna use one.
Yeah.
And they have to maintain the others. They have to hire people just to maintain the house clean. It's much more work. What is that for? Right?
And they may feel a sense of void.
Yes, they feel like sometimes their life is empty, right? They're
Yeah.
just thinking about material things,
Yeah.
right?
It's bad. Yeah.
So it's much better sometimes. For example, if I'm living in this apartment here, 3 rooms. It's a big home. So, for example, if I turn on the air conditioning, my rooms are really bigger from my last apartment. My last apartment was a kitchenette. It's one room, very small, so less things to clean. The bill of the air conditioner is much lower because the apartment is very small. But when I turn on the air conditioning here, my room is big, so it takes more energy. So I need to do more cleaning. So it's not necessarily a good thing to have a bigger house. I'm alone. I'm living alone. I'm not alone here. So if I have kids and with my wife, perhaps it would be best. But in this case, it doesn't.
Yeah.
It just means more work for me. I need more things to clean. My bill of the air conditioner is higher for no reason, right?
Yeah.
But there are people who feel like, well, my home's bigger than yours. My.
Yeah.
They want to
many
brag,
rooms,
yes.
But I won't have you to live in my rooms. Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of people are different, right?
Yeah. I maybe I have got my answers.
Yes, you need to find out what's gonna make you happy. Of course, we are different people. Sometimes there are people who wants to spend more time alone. People who wants to have more adventurous things, like they wanted to go abroad. They want to get to know different things, to get to know different cultures. Sometimes the people are fulfilled just by working as an employee of the company. Other people needs to be I need to be more command. I need to be an entrepreneur, open my own company. So there's a lot of things that you can do, but you need to feel like what's the right answer for you, right? So you're the one who telling me about working on your family business, or maybe try to do something. You want to do something different, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I want to try something in translation or in teaching, English teaching, or maybe photography.
Yeah, I think you should try. Just try out. Maybe you have to go to talk to your parents, well, and say, well, I'm not saying no for your helping me. You want to maybe take care of business here, but I just wanted to try out. I'm still young. I want to maybe find out my own answers. You need to have an honest talk with them. Of course, it will be much better if they will support you.
Yeah, but sometimes they are just so rigid. They keep to themselves. They may not want to listen to my own opinions, myself.
I understand that they want what's the best for you. Maybe, for example, for someone to start their own business by themselves, it's going to be harder. That someone is already built up for you, so just going to take care of, right? So maybe you should say not considering what they're wanting for you, but maybe you can maybe do both things. Like, well, maybe just ask them 1 year for to discover something. I don't know. Maybe we don't need to be just like for 100% on their way or 100% on your way. Maybe we should find a balance. I don't know. What I'm saying is, if you not even try to talk, you're gonna be thinking, well, what if I have tried before? For example, let's say 20 years from now you look at back, well, I'm working this company, I'm not happy, I never wanted to do this. What if I have tried to talk to them 20 years ago when they offered me this?
Let's not regret.
Yes, for example, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes people don't get things just because they don't ask for it. I'm not saying that if you ask for it, you're gonna get it. But if you don't ask for it, you never know.
But I'm the person who may not ask for what I want. I'm just watching. I'm just be thirsty for it, but I won't reach out and get it. Yeah, it's the same when it comes to romance.
Yes, it is the same. Yes.
Yeah.
Some people, sometimes you don't get it just because you don't ask for.
But recently there is one guy. Yeah, he is my classmate. He's very excellent, very good at photography, and handsome and very tall. I kind of like him, but he's so popular. He's a golden boy. Yeah, and well, just the day before yesterday, he talked with me about some puzzles, about his puzzles and confusions.
His puzzle? What's that? So
About his confusions, about things that he feels unhappy.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna open up to you, telling about his own struggles.
Yeah, and he revealed that he wants to talk to me another time maybe, and I feel that we are closer, but when we go to classes,
he acts a little bit different.
Yeah, like we turn back to the formal mode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So when he was only with you, he's a little bit more open to you, right? But when he's together with the classmates, he's kind of acting like a normal, like a formal.
Yeah. And I feel so confused. Yeah. I don't know whether he feels I'm special
for example, you're wondering what is he thinking, right? And I feel like you're a little bit afraid of asking him, right?
Yeah.
Because you're afraid that he might answer, well, you're just my friend.
Yeah.
Right?
But
let me ask you this. If you never ask, you may never find out. For the way I see it, the standpoint that I want to get with you is like this. You deserve an answer. Do you respect yourself enough to get yourself a good answer? Because think about it, let's say 10 years from now you're going to remember this. Well, I like this boy and I never talked to him. What if I have talked to him and he said, yes, I like you. I was also afraid to talk to you because you don't know, he might even be afraid to open up more to you. He might be open up until this point, but he's afraid of opening up a little bit and more and say, well, I like you. And he's maybe afraid that you're gonna say, I don't like you that way. And he's might be the one afraid of being rejected as much as you do.
Yeah.
Think about it. 10 years from now, one day you're gonna remember. Well, I like this boy, but I never talked to him. Don't you think you deserve an answer?
Yeah, but I fear that we are the same sort of person. We are just so shy, and if even if we have come into a romance with each other, we may choose to, well, just not communicate with each other because we are so I don't know how to say, introvert or something.
Yes, I understand that. I am a quiet person too. I am shy too.
Yeah. So I fear the problem will continue to between us, even if
But
I stepped out.
so you know what? So the fact that you step out and tell him does not mean that everything is gonna go okay. Maybe he's gonna say, "Well, I don't like you in that way. I just wanted to be your friend," and this is my hurt. But it's better than not knowing. And sometimes people go their whole lives not knowing, and this is not good.
But
You want to go back, you want to live your life in the way, well, I don't regret, I tried. I couldn't get it, but it's not because I didn't try it.
but but I think we will. I may feel very my self-esteem is a little bit discouraged if I am rejected by him, and we
For
will.
example, today I had a lunch with this girl that she is talking to me a few weeks ago in the English corner. She was kind of shy. She's opened up with me and said, "Well, I just have friends with my roommates, and I feel like I don't have courage to talk to others." And then I said, "Okay, let's have lunch together tomorrow with me, and I'll show you how to do it." And then she went and we meet in the canteen entrance, and I said, "I'm gonna show you how to talk to strangers." And we get a plate of food. The tables usually 4 students, right? So we find one table with 2 students. Said, "Well, we're gonna go and sit there, and then let me do the talking." And then I went there with the student. "Well, can we sit here together?" And she sit with me with those 2 other students. And then I asked, "Well, we're here because we want to make friends with you guys. So are you guys okay with it? So do you guys speak English?" And then we start talking, and then we make good friends with them. And then I asked, "Well, now tomorrow maybe you can do it alone." See, it's not difficult, but she didn't. She still didn't have the courage. And yesterday she came to the English corner, and she told me, "Oh, I didn't. So this week I didn't try to do it by myself. I still feel not courage." And then I tell her, "Well, let's have lunch tomorrow," which was today, again, and let's do it again. So I do the talking, just follow me, okay? And then we went to the other 2 students like the same last week, and then I start to do the talking, and those 2 girls are not nice at this time. They did. I asked questions. They kind of answer yes, no. They didn't kind of start talking to us like the other week, and they even when they finished and they went away, even out with saying goodbye to us. And then when they left, I told her, "Well, see, you're not gonna get a good answer like last week all the time. Perhaps you're gonna get more rejected than yeses, and this is normal. And people think that doesn't happen to me because I'm foreigner. People don't say no. The people always wants to talk to me. See, people they didn't want to talk to us. And but the thing is, we did try. We never find out if we don't try it. So you need to not get this in a personal level. They might not be rejecting you because of you. They might be busy with their final test. They might be thinking, "Well, I don't want to have time to talk to this guy. I have a lot in my mind." It's not necessarily because of you. But you need to try things in life. Otherwise, you're never going to find out. And sometimes it is a scary thought. But if you don't try to do, when you try to do, it's become easier.
Well, I just fear we may be very embarrassed if I was rejected. Yeah, because we have to take class
together.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like, for example, if he rejects you, you cannot go to the same class tomorrow, right?
I feel I'm inferior to him because I was rejected.
No, you never have to feel inferior, because actually it's the opposite. You are the one who took the courage, who have enough respect for yourself to go and talk to him. You should never feel inferior because you're the one making the first step, making the first action.
But I'm always think I was imperfect.
Everyone is imperfect.
But I think in many ways. Yeah.
Everyone is imperfect in many ways.
Yeah.
You know what? There's another thing that we talk about this in our dating class, right? Sometimes people feel there's only one person for you. This is the concept of soulmate. Remember?
Yeah.
And this is a myth. This is not true. For example, you might feel like I like this boy. He might be the one, and then go talk to him. If he doesn't want it to be with you in this way, that's okay. Just
Find
go.
another one.
Yes, you're gonna find another one for sure.
Uh-huh.
Because if you believe there's only one person, in my case, I would be doomed, right? I was married, now she dumped me, she's divorced me. Now, what do you mean? That I'm going to be unhappy for the rest of my life? No, it's not like that. And actually, it was. I'm not saying it was easy to overcome. It was hard. I didn't want it to be divorced. She dumped me. It was a hard time for me, but now I'm better again. I'm happy without her, and I'm open up to find someone if that happens. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I would not even go back with her if she changed her mind.
Everything's changed.
Yes, everything's changed. So don't feel like you're less because you're just opening up. You need to find out for yourself. You need the answer, right? Otherwise, you're gonna go without the answer and thinking about what if it's not good.
Yeah.
You need to move on based on the answer. I promise you, if you do this, you're gonna feel a lot better because I did it. I deserve this answer, and I went there and did it. I talked to him. Now he rejected me. I know. I don't know. You don't have to worry anymore, right? What if he say yes? Now you know it. Now you have the answer. Now you can move on.
Yeah.
For example, maybe you're gonna be stuck in this for 6 months. You're gonna have in class with this guy for 1 year, maybe a whole course. What if I talk to him? You're gonna be suffering for 4 years. It's not good, right?
Yeah.
And then if you talk to him and he said no, now you can move on. You can forget him. Forget him and try to give chances to other people. He's not the only guy in this world.
But what if his reply on social media is very indifferent? How to say?
If he reply in social media, or I mean,
It's not so hospitalized or
if he was rude,
nope.
unpolite.
It's just a very brief response. Yeah, very brief, and maybe it will give me a sense of that he doesn't care much about me. But I still don't know whether I should continue to find new topics or just end our.
For example, he was kind of nice to you, and they're only only with you, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of you kind of feel that. For example, I'm not a girl, right? But I know something about like this. For example, I heard this guy, and I find it very interesting. Mm-hmm. For example, in many societies, now this is changing, right? But in many societies, they feel like the man's supposed to take the first action, the first step.
Yeah.
So it's not polite or kind of a culture accepted for the girl who goes and asks a guy to be his boyfriend. Usually it's the prerogative of a man to do this, right? But that does not mean that girl can do nothing about it. For example, and the guy quote this example. So in the time of my parents, right, we can maybe see those old books. For example, if a girl was interested in a guy, she's not gonna ask him, but she's gonna give him opportunity to him ask her. Do you know what I mean? For example, you may see some old movies like the ladies just drop their handkerchief in the floor. The guy, you do let this fall. right? So maybe you're walking and then let your handkerchief drop in front of him, right? So you're not asking him, but you're giving him a chance to talk to you, right? So this handkerchief is kind of a figuratively. So you can find opportunities that's giving him a chance. If nothing this works, maybe for example you have friends, right? Or maybe a roommate, someone that you can trust. Maybe you can talk to her, and then one day she talks to the guy. Well, you know, my friend Amy, she really likes you. So, and then after that, if she doesn't take action, maybe it's time for you to move on.
Yeah.
Maybe you can maybe try one final, like a, I want to talk to you, and then open up, like in words, right? No insinuation. Just open up and be honest. Oh, I really tried this, and you didn't notice, so I would move on, but I really like you. Maybe you can open up. Maybe after doing those things, right? Maybe you can maybe have a talk with him, and then if he said no, well, you can go on in your life, and you will not regret that you did not even try.
Yeah. But there are many signs that he is not willing to like eat out with me or something, but he always talks to me like we are close friends.
Yeah, sometimes people are not ready for a relationship. For example, after my divorce, I didn't want to date. I didn't want to get to, and a lot of my friends, family, sometimes they say, oh, you need to find someone else. I wasn't even ready for that yet. Maybe now I am. But sometimes people are in this kind of a mindset. Sometimes I know students here how they came here to study, they are not interested in dating. It depends on when you are where you are in your life. Maybe he's kind of not interested in dating, he's just focused on his study. We need to respect that, but what I'm trying to say is you need to find out.
But if he is in this mood, in this, should I express my feelings?
How would you find out? You need to express it, right? Otherwise you're never going to find out.
Yeah, but what if he just don't want to get into another relationship so soon, and he just needs some time? Should I just wait for some time?
What I'm trying to say is you should go and talk to him and be honest. For example, I kind of like you, I appreciated that we talk sometimes, and then you ask him questions to see where he's standing. He might answer you, well, I didn't know, I was afraid to talk to you, I like you too. Maybe this is going to be the best that they're hoping for, right? But maybe it's not going to be this one. Maybe he's going to say like, well, I'm not ready for this yet. I'm just going to date or whatever after school. I'm not. Or maybe he's going to say, I don't know. It may be not 100%. Maybe not going to be the one that expected, but maybe not be the worst. Be completely rejected. Maybe you can work something out. And relationships, to be honest, is always like this. It's not like a 100% of your way, not 100% his way. It's always a negotiation.
Yeah.
All the time, even after marriage, you need to negotiate. I want to go to a vacation to Disneyland. No, I don't want to go to the farm. And then you have to negotiate what you're going to do with your vacation. Relationships is always negotiation.
It's very delicate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't see other way. You need to find out. Otherwise, there's going to be always this in your mind.
That's right.
And this is not a good place to be, like thinking, what would happen if I have talked to him? You need to find out.
Yeah. I'm always thinking whether he treat me like just a normal friend or someone special than others to him. I don't know. He said I'm her best female friend in our class, but
I know a lot of good friends, like best friends for each other, and they feel afraid to go up and open up their heart because they feel like, well, I'm gonna ruin this friendship.
yeah.
If, for example, I don't know if this guy is gonna like me romantically, just a friend. If I go and talk to him that I love him, he's gonna ditch me. But I don't know. For example, I think it is worth a try. Otherwise, you never may find out.
Yeah, that's right. But it's hard. Actually, I have had at I have had the experience of expressing my interest for another person, and I was rejected, and I was I dared not to look at him directly and or talk to him directly after that. I will always try to get away, or I don't know, try to keep a distance from him, like that. And
After, right? After
yeah,
being rejected.
yeah, and I think I ruined the relationship between us. So I'm afraid.
Yes, I understand because you don't want to. But there's a saying. You might agree with me or not. Or for example, if you don't risk,
You won't.
if you don't put yourself, if you don't risk anything, you're never gonna get anything.
Yeah.
Right? For example, it's like if you never try, you're never gonna get things, right? So it's you need to learn how to get to know. A lot of people get to know everywhere. For example, when you're gonna find a job, you're gonna distribute your resume, right? You're gonna ask companies, well, I wanted to apply this position, and you're gonna have maybe you're gonna send 100 resumes, and then most people will say no, right? Most people find another person in front of you,
Yeah.
but you keep going because you cannot go out and live without a job, right?
Yeah.
But people feel like they can go on and live without love. They can go on and live without relationships. This is the most fulfilling part of your life. So you need, for example, let me tell you this. For example, you know that I'm going to, I want to try to go to the Shenzhen, right? You know, right? You know why I want to go there, right?
I know.
So
For your girlfriend.
yes. So I told her, well, I like her. I talk to her a lot. We do video call all the time, and I feel like, well, she's kind of she has what I'm looking for. She's kind of, I like her. She likes me. And then I told, well, and I'm older than you, so I understand. For example, I have been in this situation before. Maybe I don't know it's your first time or not, but when you start to getting someone, you get what we call infatuation. You don't see the problems with the other person. For example, when you love someone, you don't see their problems. You don't see their defects. You don't see, because you're blind,
Yeah.
right? This is a
Love is colorblind.
yeah, this is a normal stage when you start getting someone. Everything about them is perfect. Everything about them is pink, right? Rosy, pinky. But just because I know this now, I understand that that's important to date enough or long enough to see the infatuation goes down, settle down, so you can see the other person for what there really is. Because if you start making decisions when you are in this stage, you're probably not gonna make good decisions.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with you.
And then, for example, this is what you're doing. You like this person. You're gonna give him a chance to open up, and then he's gonna reject you. That's okay. This is the most perfect normal thing. You don't need to treat him different in class anymore. Now you have your answer. You're just gonna treat him as a good colleague, good co-worker, good student, and then you're gonna move on. Then he's not the only boy in the university, right?
Yeah.
And I can tell you, it's much better to find out sooner than later. For example, I was married for 17 years and she dumped me after 17 years, 2 kids. I wish that she would have told me when I dating her, I'm not gonna marry you. Then marry me, and then 17 years later dump me.
And that is hard to say.
Yeah, it's hard to see it, right? She was not very committed. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is nothing is guaranteed in life. But if you don't try out, it's guaranteed that you're not gonna get anything.
Yeah.
If you don't try out, something's guaranteed. It's nothing. But if you try out, you can maybe get good things. There's another analogy that is very interesting. Do you know airplanes? They when they depart, they kind of have a compass, like to put in the right directions, right? Airplane. So, for example, they're going to travel from China to United States. So they depart. They're in the air. So they have this kind of a compass to put for example, the airplane is gonna deviate from its route, and then the pilot needs to correct it. So the plane keeps deviating from the right direction, but the pilot needs to keep correcting the course, so he can arrive at the right destination. So in fact, a pilot is keeping correcting the airplane all the trip until the destination. So it's almost fair to say that the airplane is going to the wrong direction most of the time, and the pilots keep correcting right. So how can you go to one place
without any adjustments?
No, how can you go to one place being in the wrong direction most of the time? See the point? So the thing is, you're trying to figure out your life. You're going to directions. You're gonna maybe think this boy has a potential, right? So go there and find out it. It's not him. Redirect, right? Move now. Give a try to another one. Maybe you find this job is a good one for you. Let's try it. Go there and see it. So you keep adjusting your direction where you want to go. But if you don't try it, don't adjust it, you're never gonna get where you want it to be. People who don't take off the airplane, they're never gonna arrive anywhere because they're afraid to try it. When you go up in the airplane, you're gonna be heading to wrong directions all the time. Keep adjusting until you get the directions, until you get the final destination.
I wish I'm open-minded as you.
No, you're learning. This is why you want to talk to me. I want to share my experience so you can profit from it. I'll be very happy if this was worthwhile, if you learned something that you're gonna be better because you talk to me.
I'm happy to hear that, because actually I'm a little afraid that I may bring some negative emotions to you.
No, that's okay. It's okay. No problem.
I think the biggest problem in our lives is with other people, is with interacting with other people. And I changed my major, and I get to know one friend after I changed to the new class. And she talked to me and said she wants to make friends with me because she likes English very much, and she finds that your
English is good, right?
Yeah, and I like English very much, like her. But actually, with our interaction with each other, I gradually find that maybe the conversation between us is not as good as I think. Sometimes she just listens to me, and she won't say something that I want to hear, and I sometimes get disappointing response from her, but it seems that she treated me as her best friend, but actually I don't.
She's treating you as if you are her best friend, but you are not.
Yeah, she said she liked me very much, and she want to get good reaction from me, but actually she disappointed me sometimes. So maybe her position in my heart is not as good as my other friends. And that's the question. Yeah, I may feel guilty because I'm not willing to give the good reactions, even though I know what should I do. Yeah, maybe I may say something sweet, or maybe, but I'm reluctant to do that.
Well, let me tell you something. We should never lie to other people just to make them happy. For example, let's say you invite me to have lunch at your home, spaghetti, and then after we eat, you ask me, do you like this spaghetti? And I didn't like it, okay? But I don't want to disappoint you. And then say, oh, I like it, so good,
So
right?
next time.
So I told you this before.
Uh-huh.
So next
No,
time,
no.
okay. So I like it so good, and it's splendid spaghetti. So I love it. Okay, next week you invite me again.
Same
So
spaghetti.
yeah, it's gonna be the same spaghetti. Why is gonna be the same spaghetti? Because I said that I like it.
Yeah.
So let me tell one experience that I have in my own marriage. So I am not a kind of I don't like surprises very much. So I kind of but my wife likes it very much. For example, if I prepare a surprise party for her, there will be heaven for her. So she likes it very much, but I don't like it. And when you got married first, one day she's giving me this surprise party because she likes it, right? But she didn't know me, so she prepared this surprise, and then I said thank you and everything, right? I said I like it, but 1 week later, I kind of said, well, can we talk about something? And then I explained to her, well, I really appreciate that you did this. I know it took a lot of effort, took a lot of preparation, but I'm not really into this. I'm just telling you because I know that if I tell you that I like it so much, maybe next year you're gonna do the same thing. So I want you to get to know me for the real me. And then when you get to know the real me, you're going to start doing things that I really do appreciate it. This is the purpose of a good relationship, right? You have to learn about the other person, and then you're going to do what he's going to like it, not what you're going to give, right? Do you understand? And then she didn't like it too much when I talked to her like this. But I feel like, well, every intelligent person would appreciate it because, for example, if I understand why you like it, and then the next time I'm gonna do something that you like it, and then I know I'm making you really happy, right? So this is for example, you should not retain that information from the other person because it's fair for them to know.
But actually, I have tried to talk to her.
And she didn't.
Yeah, she said maybe we need more time to spend together, but I find it useless.
Yeah, maybe if you try it, it's okay. What I'm trying to say is, don't talk like, for example, don't say something that you don't really mean it, because, and then you're gonna get spaghetti again, right? If you don't like it. But if you try, for example, there are relationships that doesn't work out. So, for example, you try your best, you're trying to talk, and you don't see improvement. Maybe there's nothing that you can do. This is why we date people. For example, I'm going to change Jen because I feel like she's worthwhile for me to go there. But then I will find out the real her. Maybe you're gonna find out things that I would not tolerate, and maybe you're not gonna marry. But I would never know if I don't go there.
But that's for romantic partner.
Yes.
As to friends, I feel that it may be a little cruel for me to say that we are not.
She wants to be your best friend, and she's kind of expecting the same from you.
Yeah, and I don't want to hurt her, but actually, I can give what she wants.
And then be honest, because if you cannot give it, it's not nice to be kind of giving false impression. For example, let's say I like you so much, and then I came to talk to you, and then because you feel like you don't want to disappoint me, you said yes. But then you're gonna be kind of tricking me for a whole year, and then one day you say, oh, I cannot do this anymore. I never liked you in the first place. It's gonna be really hard. People don't deserve this kind of treatment.
That's
right? So be honest in the first place. So if they can, so by being honest, you're giving the other person the real perspective, so she can make good decisions in her life. Maybe she can find, well, if you can only be good friends, not best friend, maybe I can find another best friend. So you're giving her the real information for her to make decisions in her life.
So sometimes I think that
Sometimes people will get hurt, but in the long run they will recognize, well, this person is good. She's being honest with me.
I think so. And I always think that because we have to take classes together every day and we will have lunch together, and sometimes I just feel the lunch became a routine, a must to do. Although sometimes I I want to go for lunch with my roommates, but she's there. She's alone. She's waiting for me. I
Yes,
I
I
can
mean,
do
I feel
something.
like she's too demanding, right, of your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to be honest to her. Okay, I feel like you can tell something like this. I feel like you really wanted to be my friends, but I feel like you should have more friends. I cannot. For example, you can tell your perspective, right? I have more friends. I need to spend time with them, not only with you. I can be your friend, but I feel like you need more friends just like me. She
Yeah.
may not like to hear this in the first place, but she will respect you for telling her the truth.
Yeah.
For example, it might goes like this. Well, she might be disappointed in you. She might be frustrated. She might
You
be
hurt
angry.
me.
You hurt me. You might be angry. But after a while, maybe when she start thinking about, well, she may come back to you. Maybe 1 week later, say, well, I think you are right,
Yeah.
and this is the best for the long run. But
Mhm.
someone needs to have a responsibility enough to to tell the truth. I feel like this. There is no good relationship when there is no trust and honesty.
Yeah.
Because, for example, if you are into a relationship, the guy is tricking you, like telling you not the truth just because he doesn't want to hurt you. He's gonna hurt you at some point in time when you find out the truth, and it's gonna be much more hurtful in the end than if he's telling you in the beginning.
Yeah. That's right.
Because the relationship is gonna be based on a lie. He's just not telling you because he's the one that doesn't want to hurt you.
Yeah. Sometimes I think I'm just so conservative. Yeah, I'm just
I feel like you're a good person. You don't want to hurt other people, but sometimes you need to be honest, and this is the best for the long run. For example, think about as a company. When a company is kind of there's, for example, a touristic place like for example, Beijing. There are people there who want to visit Beijing, like me, a foreigner, and never gonna go back there, right? There are those scammers people, like they take advantage of the customer. For example, they're gonna for example, let's say a taxi, they're gonna have this taxi only one time, right? So they're gonna charge you 3 4 times more because this guy is never gonna come back with him, right? But a company who wants to be in business for the long term, he's gonna treat their customers very well because they want them to come back,
yeah.
right? So, for example, let's say if I take a taxi and I know the ride is $20 and he charged me 100, do you think I'll go back to the same taxi driver?
No.
No, right? So the same thing as your friends. So if they treat you well with honesty and respect, it does not mean that you have to tell them all nice things. I like you. I will spend the time with you. You have to tell them the truth, so they will respect you for it.
That she's always alone, you know. That she doesn't get along with her roommates, and she has little friends in class, and because she's the first person who went to me and tried to make friends with me, I feel it's really hard to say no to her.
You can try to help her to make more friends, but you need to tell her. Someone needs to tell her. For example, this student who went to me last week and today again, she's kind of putting some effort, right? I'm just trying to help her. But if she wants to have lunch with me every day, like I'm his only friend, I'm gonna tell you the same thing you should tell your whole friend.
No.
I'm gonna say no. I have lots of students. They're demanding my time. I cannot give 100% of my time to you. I need my own business. I need to study. I need to prepare classes. You cannot be my only and only friend in the world. And it's not healthy for you to have just one friend. And then this is why I'm doing it, show you how you can do it, but no one can do it for you.
Yeah.
So you need to tell her those things.
She will grow up very fast.
For example, let me tell you one experience that I had with my kids when they were very young. We have this store with me and my wife. It's a patchwork store, and then the city hall called her and told her that she passed in the test, and if she wanted to work in the city hall, she had a job there. And then we discussed this and tell, well, let's give it a try. So I will take care of the store, and then you go there and see if it's a good job and maybe it's worthwhile. So and then she started working in the city hall, and the city hall was kind of a more demanding job. And then I have more time than her, so I took the kids from school, take the kids to school, pick up them up. I start making more things at home. And Saturday is the day that she didn't have to go to the city hall. So she went to the store and I stay at home with the kids. And because she was teaching in the store, right? And then I stayed with home with the kids, and then I remember the first Saturday. So I cooked the meal, lunchtime, right? And then I kind of put in my two kids, they're small kids, and kind of one spoon for me, one for her, just giving food for them and eating together, right? And then pretty soon they said, I don't want it anymore, Dad, I'm full. Okay, but they did very little. So I knew, well, okay, but they didn't want any more. And then in less than 1 hour, both of them came to me and asked, well, Dad, I wanted crackers. And I said, no, you did not eat enough food in the lunchtime. You cannot have crackers if you don't eat your meal. You need to eat your meal first, and then you can have crackers, you can have chocolate, whatever. And then I said, well, no, unless you eat the food. The food is still there. And they said, no, I don't want the food. I just want the crackers, and I did not give them the crackers. And then 3 afternoon, they're really hungry, right? So they didn't eat enough in the lunchtime. They didn't have the crackers. And then they came to me, okay, Dad, okay, let's eat the food. And then I give them the food, and then after the food I give them the crackers. So I did not broke my own rules, because if I had given them the crackers, next time what's going to happen when I give them the food? They will not eat the food and ask me the crackers again.
Yeah.
And this is not good for kids, right? So next Saturday, the same thing. We prepared the meal and start giving them, and they said, well, I'm full. And then I said, remember, no cracks if you don't eat the food. And then one of them changed her mind when I told them, because he remembers last Saturday, the dad's not going to break up his own rule. So, okay, and then they start eating. So you see, the second Saturday, they already understand the rules, and they will notice they would not break them. So every Saturday was okay from that point on. So they're always eating their food, because they knew if they don't eat, I would not give them crackers. But one thing interesting happened. One Saturday, the students from my wife in the store didn't show up, so she came back earlier. So she came back in the lunchtime. As soon as she stepped inside of home, they stopped eating. And asked her the crackers, and she gave them the crackers. So for example, now let me tell you, now my kids are living with her in the United States. And sometimes she calls me and says, well, you need to have a talk with your kids, because they're not obeying me. They're not. So she didn't earn their respect. So I love my kids, but I couldn't say yes, because I knew it's going to have a long-term effect. They need to understand the rules. They need those rules to grow up healthy. So for example, nowadays she's kind of she didn't make them learn their limits. So sometimes she called me and said, well, you need to have a talk to your kids about this, because they're not listening to me.
Parents should never spoil their kids.
So everything we do in life has a consequence. For example, now you have this dilemma with your friend. Don't trick her, don't say nice things just to make her happy. You need to tell her the truth, and she will respect you in the long run. She may not like you right now. For example, when I said to my kids the first Saturday, no, I would not give you a cracker. They cry. They feel, you're a bad dad. Well, but
a bad
but
dad.
now I'm reaping the result. It's a much better result. So she might not like you when you say those things for her. But in the long term, she might come back to you later and say, well, you're right. You're being honest with me. You help me a lot. She might understand this.
Honesty is the best policy.
Honesty is always the best policy. Think about yourself. Do you want it to be someone tricking you into something that's not real, not true?
No.
You don't want this for yourself. Why do you give this kind of treatment to someone else? Right?
That's right.
But people sometimes they don't react well in the first place. You need to be aware of this. But in the long run, it's always the best.
It's better to be a transitory bad person than be a.
No, you're not a bad person because you're doing this. But people may don't like it. Right? The reaction might not be as nice as possible.
Sometimes I think my horizons should go above what I am right at the present. Yeah, I should see higher and bigger.
Yes.
That's what my elder brother told me.
Yes. When you have a
He always tells me that I should abandon the mindset of just thinking about yourself, about things that you see in this time, and in the opposite, we should see the real benefits in the long term.
yes, long term is always better.
But it's hard for me. I think I need to have more experiences.
For example, do you know the donuts experience? Donuts experiment. It's a very classical. You can find in the psychological studies. Some books refer to this. They pick up some kids and they put in a room and they put a donut in front of them and then they tell something like this: I'm gonna go away for 15 minutes.
I know this experiment.
You know this? I told you this before?
It's very
famous. Yes, famous. And if you wait for me to come back, I'll give you a second donut. But of course, you can't eat the donut anytime. But if you eat it, this is the only one you're gonna get it. And some kids eat the donuts; they couldn't not wait. But other kids, few kids, right? They wait for those 15 minutes and they get a second donut.
Yeah.
So it means that when you are able to control yourself, like for example, by controlling yourself is thinking about long term. So those kids are thinking about long term. Well, if I wait 15 minutes, I can get a second donut. They're not they don't fulfill themselves immediately. So immediately is not long term. So they follow those kids for many years. Those kids who wait 15 minutes, they have more successful life. They have better families, more jobs that earn more money because they have control on themselves. People who want to fulfill their needs immediately, they don't make good decisions. They don't save money, they don't think long term. They're always kind of fulfilling themselves right now. And their lives did not turn out as good as the other ones that can wait. That can save money, they can make planned decisions. They have a better life.
Personality decides on your future.
You can learn something. It's not something that, for example, is in your DNA. If you're born like this, you're doomed. Something that you can learn.
Yeah, that's right.
And this is why we need good parents, because they teach kids. And for example, the divorces rate is high. A lot of people are growing with only one parent at home, and this is not good for society. I have yesterday one girl who's asking me about uh, my views about respecting other people, and she asked me about gay marriage. 20 years ago, we never heard about gay marriage, but nowadays, for example, in the United States, it's a legal thing. So one man can marry another man, or one woman can marry another woman. And she asked me if I agree. I said no, I don't agree. And then she asked, well, does other people have the same right as you do? I said, well, yes. That just because I don't agree, it does not mean that I don't respect them. And then I have another argument for her. For example, what about, do you ever heard about the Oedipal complex? When a boy wants to have sex with his own mom, and she said, no, this is horrible. And then, okay, why is not horrible to a man marry another man? Right? For example, in the nature, for example, my daughter will never be attracted to me because it's in our DNA. I don't know, the bodies produce some hormone. I'll never feel attracted romantically to my own daughter. But there's few exceptions. Only 0.001% of people have a hormonal problem, or I don't know, brain disease, or something wrong with them, and they feel attracted to their own blood, right? So just because we have those few exceptions, can we make the law to make this right for everyone? This is not right. This is not good for society. And because of those minority are getting right, society is going on and declining. For example, now we have gay marriage. Now we have a lot of things that we didn't have in the past. So now we have a lot of single moms, kids growing up with only one parent at home. And do you know, United States have a lot of programs to help people. They have a food stamp. They have quotas for university for black people because they cannot have the same because they don't have enough success to pass the exam. They put some quotas so they can more black people get in the universities. But they are not putting their efforts in the most effective thing, which is preserving the family. You know, the most predicted thing that if you're going to be successful in life or not is to be raised by both parents. If you're raised by both parents, your successful rate is much higher than those who are raised just by one single parent. So for example, kids who have their parents divorced, they're more likely to get involved with drugs, they're more likely to be bad in school, they're more likely to end up in prison, they're more likely to have sex before marriage. All those bad things, just because they're raised by one parent, not both of them. And they're in the programs in the governments are not helping people stay together as a family. They're helping with food, they're helping you with the scholarships, they're helping you with the quotas in the university, but they're not helping the right thing.
But even for me, I can figure out the best solution to the problem.
What's the best one?
To preserve a family, because I think emotions is very hard to regulate, to control. Yeah. Maybe.
But this is the thing. People are making decisions based on their emotions, and that should not be made on their emotions. The only people who care about your emotion might be your mom and dad, and perhaps your husband. Only people. For example, do you think if you go, for example, if you're, let's say you have a job now, okay, and then you miss a job. I'm not going to work today because I'm not feeling good. Do you think your boss would care about this? How do you think your boss is going to care about how you feel?
No.
No, he doesn't want it. He doesn't care about how you feel. You need to show up in the work. For example, let's say you miss a class tomorrow, and then you said to your teacher, I feel bad today. I feel bad yesterday. This is why I didn't came to your class. Do you think this is going to cut it for you? No. People doesn't care how much you feel, right? If you're living your life making decisions of how much you feel, you're going to end up in a really bad place, right? And this is why I don't agree when people say I should follow my heart. And this is a recipe to do a disaster. You should guide your heart with your values.
But in my view, like in China, there has already had laws that that claims that parents should not divorce for their children. But many people are against this view because they want freedom.
Yes, they
Because
feel like
if
they
they don't have love for each other, but they have to live in the same house,
yes,
lying on the same bed,
yes.
and they have fightings, they have quarrels, and which may affect their work or their mood.
But it didn't start this way, right? It
Uh-huh.
didn't start this way, right?
Yeah.
They kind of meet each other, they like each other. This is why they married, right? But things they stopped putting effort on the relationship. This is why it went so bad. And now they went to they went out. And I feel like people are not committed anymore. They went out in the first trouble. Relationships are not easy, and for example, you need to
Joint effort, to put joint effort.
there's a
to
I don't know if I
maintain the
have it.
relationship.
I don't know if I have it here. Maybe I have it here. I share with this with many.
But sometimes
Hmm?
the
Hmm?
the break the break of a relationship is not resulting from.
I'm not saying that there's never a reason to break. There are some very bad marriage. On the abusive husband beat her wife. She should not stay with him. So this might be a reason for divorce. But the way I see is most divorce is because people are selfish. They only think about themselves. They don't want to put more effort in the relationship. They want to break the commitment.
Yeah, you know, my friend,
Mm.
just the one I talked to you before, the friend, she just recently break
Relationship?
break their relationship with her ex-boyfriend, and she said she just feel the relationship is so flat.
Okay.
She don't see passion or something, but actually he is a very nice guy, but she don't see passion, so she said let's not stay together.
I understand. Not every dating relationship is gonna go forward to the marriage, and the point of dating is actually to get to know the other person better, to see if you can commit. But after committing, after marriage, things become more serious. You should instead of looking others, you need to put the effort in making your relationship work. But the dating time is the time when you have to decide if you wanted to commit to this person or not. This is why I think marrying it too soon, like well, let's date for 1 month and marry. This is not good. You need to date at least for 1 year to really to get to know the other person. For the infatuation, remember the infatuation they were talking about? Because love blinds you, right? So maybe after 6 months your infatuation goes down, and now you start seeing the other person for what he really is, right? So you're gonna see her flaws. You're gonna see, oh, he's not nice all the time. So do I want to live with this person? Do I want to commit with this person? And then you can go out. I don't want to live with this person. And then you break up. But when you make the decision, now I really wanted to marry you. I wanted to commit with you. Now when you find a problem, you need to solve it, not to break up.
But what if they didn't marry each other for their own desire?
Yeah. This is another problem, right? In China, they told me have a lot of arranged marriage, right?
Yeah. Parents will find suitable or desirable
Yes.
person for their.
Yeah, this is
son or
another problem. I
daughter.
don't know how to solve it.
Yeah, that's a problem. And
Yes, because you're marrying someone that you didn't choose, right?
yeah. So how to solve the problem after you have had conflicts with each other?
But you know what? There is some statistics showing that countries who have this arranged marriage, people are succeeding more in marriage than those countries who are freely can choose freely.
because I think that's because you the arranged marriage, the two people, they have equal position, they have equal degree and equal money or something.
Yes,
And
when you
which
have a
may-
marriage with someone who has similar position than you, the probability of having a good one is better, for
yeah,
sure.
and many problems that are brought by money or
Yes.
degrees or something are diminished.
Yeah, I don't have the answers for everything, so yeah, it's a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, and
But the thing that I wanted to find out here is a part of a book that I like it very much. Do, I think I gave you the book, right? The 7 Habits for Highly Effective People.
yeah, I think
This guy was kind of giving a lecture, and then there came one other person from the audience and asking him, "Well, I want to divorce my wife, and they have kids. And then what is your counsel?" And the guy said, "Well, love your wife, don't divorce." And he said, "But we don't love her anymore, so we fall out of love. So, but we're concerned about the kids." And then he said, "Well, love your wife." And then he said, "Well, I think you did not hear me. I said we fall out of love." So the guy who's giving the lecture is saying, "Well, people people who were guided for the love of feeling, because feeling is a kind of something that's change a lot. For example, maybe this morning you feel maybe you feel tired, but then you have your lunch, you feel better after afternoon, and then you feel bad because you have bad news from your friend. So feeling is kind of a roller coaster. One time you're good, and the other time you're bad. But values does not change. For example, if you believe in honesty, it does not change. You're going to be an honest person. So guide your feelings, your decisions based on your values, not on your feelings. Because, for example, if I have to base my decisions to go to work on my feelings, there are days that I feel like I don't feel like going to work.
yeah,
Right? So everyone is like the same. But I go to work because I have values. I have responsibilities. Right?
yeah. Is this book?
Yes, it's this book. It's a very good book.
I have added to my shopping list.
Yes. I can give you. No, it's not this one.
Not this one.
It's a 7 habits of highly effective people.
7 habits of highly.
I know they have the Chinese. I only have an English version. I can give it to you.
Is it
7 habits of highly effective people.
is it
It's from the author is Stevie Covey.
so whether I can read it on my phone or
Yes, you can read it on your phone.
okay.
Yeah, I don't have on my Kindle. I have the PDF. I can send you the PDF.
Okay.
But you can search it. It's they even have the Chinese version. It probably can find in Amazon.
I wonder if you will approve of that two people in a marriage they fight their they go out and fight partners, but they won't divorce each other. They won't divorce.
No, I don't agree with that. Like I have other partners, they keep marriage, but they have another partner.
Yeah.
No, I don't believe in that.
But it's another form of maintain a marriage, and they both feel happy because they have had.
I don't know. I don't want to share my wife with another person. I don't feel like that.
Yeah. But what if the two people they don't love each other? They all have the feeling that they don't.
Oh,
love each
maybe
other.
this is a situation to solve this problem, right? Because they arranged marriage, right? I feel like marrying someone that I like it, and then I would not want to share her with another person. This is the how do you feel? What kind of marriage you like? You marry, for example, would you feel like this is a solution? If you, for example, I feel like you wanted to marry someone that you like, right? That you love, and then you don't want to share this person. This is how I feel.
That's right.
This one here. Yes.
You know-
I know they have an English version. English version, Chinese version.
The book split the differences are so expensive.
Yeah, how much is it?
Mm,
I bought it. This one. I have this one in my Kindle. It's an English book. But the thing is, they don't let us share in the Kindle.
it's about
It's also a good book. This one here, right?
yeah.
I bought it, and they don't let us share in the Kindle.
Yeah, or they may not profit.
Yes, yes, that's the reason. They don't have a profit. Yes, if they let us share.
You can share,
No, no, I can't share.
and this book you can share this book.
No, I can't.
You can.
Yes, the other one I have on the PDF. I can send it to you.
Okay, fine.
The other one. I can send you the other one.
It's
the-
okay if you can.
This one. This one. Oh, what is it? Oh. The other one that I showed you here in the Amazon, like yeah, this one here. This one here I have on PDF. I can send it to you.
Okay,
The English version.
that's great.
Yeah, I send it to you.
You know, recently I have we have I don't know how to say, we have changed the chairman, the chairman
English Association.
yes,
Okay.
and I just mentioned it. Yeah, I don't mean anything.
Oh, okay. So, but are you still there as your secretary assistant? What you're in the English Association? What is your position in the English Association?
I don't have positions anymore. I'm just
You're,
ex-
you don't. Before you have a position, right? Before you were something.
before
Yes. When you're doing the activity, you have a.
organized activities.
Now you're nothing in the English Association anymore.
No, I'm a predecessor.
Okay. Okay.
I'm a predecessor of that.
I have something for you here. I did to my class, and I was giving them small gifts for answering the right question, and then I have this as leftovers.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you very much.
I did the last class. I prepared some questions. When they answer correctly, they can in the front and choose a pencil or a rubber or a.
So they are
refill.
as an incentive.
Yes. It was kind of fun
Uh-huh.
to do it with them.
I think it's great to find ways to motivate people if you are giving a speech or giving a class.
Yes, people are motivated for small things like this, right? Not
Yeah.
expensive at all, and it's kind of a I had a lot of fun in class, and makes students pay more attention because they were looking for it for the next one, right? Oh, I need to answer the question
Yeah.
for the next one.
I wonder if you have ever used the Taobao or Alipay.
Yes, Alipay I do have it now. Taobao I never use it. For example, I buy things here in China with this website here. They are in English, so they favorite this. I think it's this one here. Yes, this one.
What's this?
This is a
Baopo.
Baopao. Yes,
Baopo.
this is kind of a shopping, but it is for foreigners in China. They say they are in English.
I don't know.
Yes, you don't know because you don't need it.
Yeah.
You can shop in Baopao. You can
Yeah.
shop in Taobao. I can't.
It doesn't have an English version.
What? No, this is
Taobao.
I don't know. I don't think so. But this one, for example, you can account here shopping now, right? Shopping.
You know, there is a app called Pinduoduo in China, and we can buy things.
See, it's a kind of this shopping app, but they're in English, right? So it's easier.
So expensive.
Yeah.
It's true. So expensive. You know, these kind of things in China may sell only about $1, $1 to $2.
One
Yeah.
in Taobao.
Kind of, yeah. Cheap.
Here's 31 yuan.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. This is in yuan, it's not dollar. This is in Chinese currency. This is not dollar.
Oh, where? Okay. I don't know what this is. I suppose it was.
Let's see what it is. Oh, I need to sign. Okay. So
I thought it was a jam or something.
it's mustard. It's a food. It's kind of a sauce. Mustard. Ketchup with mustard, you know?
Yeah, many delicious.
Yeah. Using this as a hot dog. Hot dog usually goes with the mustard and ketchup.
But it's a little expensive.
Yeah.
I think after you have lived with your girlfriend, you may lower your expenditure on everything.
Well, I'm not buying many things here. I'm just eating for example, canteen food is the cheapest food you can buy. For example, sometimes I go outside with some students. Of course, the canteen food is always cheapest, right?
But I wonder how you communicate with servant, with the people who work in the canteen. Yeah.
I don't communicate, just point.
But they are not English.
Yes, they don't need to. I don't need to say anything. I just point the food. Yes, this. You know, there's a joke. A guy who didn't speak Chinese, and he went to the restaurant and said ni hao, ni hao, ni hao, ni hao. So don't need to say anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Just ni hao, ni hao, ni hao.
But sometimes they are not food that are put outside. You may
sometimes just care. But here it's very easy to find someone who can help me. For example, when I was in canteen number 4, sometimes I need to talk to the guy, and then I stopped some student. Oh, can you help me here? I said that in English. They talk to the guy. No problem.
Yeah. Next time you can ask a student to recommend maybe what he thinks is delicious.
Yes, I'm eating with the students all the time. So I have one student who take me to the restaurant in the entrance here. They have one nice restaurant there. Let me show you. I think I have a picture. Okay. Yes, this one. It's the restaurant in the entrance here. This is not here in the canteen.
Girl.
You know her?
She was in my English association.
Yes. And we eat this nice rice and something there. But this was not in the canteen. This was in the right side before crossing the gate outside. It's inside. There's always one guy selling things outside of the restaurant, like a rice cake. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't been to the restaurant.
Yeah.
There are many things.
So sometimes I get a student who invites me to go outside. Sometimes they invite me to another restaurant here.
So
it's always nice.
Have had very good experiences here.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And I like the food here. I don't need to go to eat the expensive ones outside. For example, if you go to the Pizza Hut here in the shopping mall, you can buy one pizza for $100. And $100 means 10.
It's not so expensive.
Yes, $100 is not expensive, but what
No, the pizza is not so expensive. I can have a complete pizza only with 15 yuan or 20 yuan.
Yeah, but if you go outside in this nice restaurant who has a brand name, it's much more expensive, right?
Yeah. But even if in KFC, it's not that expensive, I think.
Yeah, I don't really know. I just went once because This guy who wants me to work in his English school. It was interesting. The other day I have a message in wechat. I thought it was a student. He said, I wanted to invite you for a pizza. I said, okay. And then and he invited me to go in the Pizza Hut. And then when I got there, I was looking, and then he told me I'm the owner of the Thomas English School, and I wanted to make an offer for you to work there. I didn't know that.
I'm afraid it seems like it will rain soon.
Yes, it will rain today.
Let me check. Let me check the forecast.
It did rain this morning, right? So probably gonna a lot of clouds.
It will rain after 15 minutes.
Oh.
Yeah, around 6 p.m.
It is that accurate, you know, by every 15 minutes.
Yeah, the time is 6 o'clock.
Okay.
I don't know. Sometimes the weather forecast is not so accurate, and maybe.
Yes, usually it's not too accurate.
Usually, yeah, it says it will.
Do you want to eat together?
Well, I think I would go back to my dormitory and have my instant noodles because I have bought a box of instant noodles. They are very cheap.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm preparing to buy a lot of things because we will have a big shopping festival.
Okay.
Yeah, on Taobao.
Oh, okay.
It will give you offer you very cheap commodities.
Yes, a lot of people buy online. Online shopping is growing a lot in many places in the world.
Yeah.
My sister buys a lot of things from China every month. She tells me it's cheaper to buy from, even though the thing is she needs to wait a lot, right, to get the products. But she's buy a lot from here.
Yeah, in China the most evident convenience you experience is the express.
Yes.
Very quick. Maybe I bought one item from internet this day and I will get it tomorrow.
The problem is not the Chinese company, it's the customs in Brazil. So they sometimes stop your package in the custom, and they stay there for a long time. The company ships very fast, but the customs, who has to see what's coming inside of the country, they take longer to verify things. That's the problem.
I know there is a Black Friday in United States.
Yes, now they have a lot of a selling day, like Black Friday, Thanksgiving Day, Christmas, Easter. They use every holiday to sell more and more.
But people have to go to the stores, in person to the stores, if they want to have the benefits. Or they can buy
not really. For example, Amazon is an American company, right? But Amazon is growing so much, so online, right? The best business is online. What I'm saying is, for example, Amazon has built a lot of warehouses in the United States, so they also can deliver very fast. But there are people saying that the Amazon grew too much, putting a lot of other competitors out of business. There's a lot of stores in the United States closing their doors because of Amazon.
Also a problem. Maybe I just learned the word monopoly.
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 And for example, in the beginning, everyone feels good, right? I can buy cheaper, they arrive faster, and they start giving priority to those big companies. But when they become the only one, now you're kind of a hostage from them because you have no options anymore. And then they start raising their prices, they trying to do bad things, and you don't have any options anymore. And this is bad. Competition is always good because competitions increase efficiency, lower the prices, and it's good for the customers. But when you have only one company, they can do whatever they wanted to. You only have only one option, it's theirs, so you cannot go for someone else. Because when you have competition and someone is asking an unfair price, I'm not going to buy it from you, I'm going to buy it from them. But when you don't have them, you need to buy from them,
Yeah.
and then they can do whatever they wanted, and this is not good. This is the principle of the free market. This is why free market works so well, because you buy from the people who are doing the best job.
Also, I think the free talk, no free.
Speech.
Yes, the free speech is important, and more people are having their rights of speech
Starts
on
raining.
a broader stage.
Yes, the only country who has this in the constitution law is United States, and people are trying to revoke that, to vote the free speech out of the constitution, and this is bad.
I think so.
For example, a lot of countries doesn't have this good right, and they're trying to do the tricky to get this out. They say they believe in free speech, but in reality they don't believe in free speech, because they say I believe in free speech, but I don't believe in hate speech.
Hate speech, like hate black people or
Hate speech,
hate.
for example, when you say they believe in free speech, it means you can believe in any speech.
Yeah.
When you say you don't believe in hate speech, it means you don't believe in free speech.
Yeah.
So there is a language trick to make. For example, I have one that I watched this video in YouTube, and this lady was saying, "No, she's from German," and the guy say, "Well, German has no free speech," and she said, "No, it has free speech," and he said, "No, it doesn't have. I know people who's been jailed by speaking whatever they wanted to," and then she said, "No, but we believe in free speech. I work in the media." And then he pressures her, right? And then she said, "Well, I believe in free speech, but I don't believe in hate speech." And then, well, there he is, right? Because people who does not believe in hate speech is, for example, whatever I don't agree with you, I say it's a hate speech and put you in the jail for doing it. So in reality, you don't have free speech, because I label your speech as a hate one, and then put you in the jail for giving that speech.
Yeah.
When you believe in free speech, other people can say whatever they wanted to. You're never gonna jail them for this. So you cannot say, "Oh, this is a hate speech," and then put in the jail. It means that you don't believe in free speech.
Yeah.
Because when you believe in free speech, you can say whatever they wanted, even the most heinous, most horrible things.
Understood.
For example, I can say, "Well, you're ugly, you're nasty, I believe in assassin people, I believe in doing bad stuff." They can say this as long as they don't call for action. There's a fine distinction between speech and action. So as long as they don't call other people to do the action, for example, let's kill this person. This is a call to action. You cannot ask them to kill something. But they can speak like, "Well, I believe in killing." They're not calling someone to kill, but they're only speaking, only speech, and then they can say this. They can say, for example, "I hate black people, I hate Chinese people." They have the right to say it as long as they don't call them to action. For example, "Let's kill the Chinese." No, they cannot say that. "Let's kill," because it's a call to action.
Yeah.
But they can say, "I hate Chinese people." They're free to say whatever they wanted to say. But people, they say, well, those countries who they say, "Oh, I believe in free speech, but I don't believe in hate speech," they actually don't believe in free speech. Because when they disagree with you, they say it's a hate speech.
It's a paradox.
When they don't agree with you, they say it's a hate speech.
They only accept what they want to.
Yes, what they wanted to believe, yes.
But how do you think? How do you feel? How do you think about the the pandemic is very severe in the United States?
Yes.
And from what I have read, many Americans, they think it's their freedom to choose whether to put a mask on or not. And most of them choose not to put a mask on because they think that is their
Yes.
right.
There are some United States has 50 states, right? Some states are governed by people who are more left wing and other people who are more right wing. Right wing believes in more freedom, and left wing believes in
They are more conservative.
more restrictions, right? So those states like New York, Los Angeles, they're kind of a locking down, forcing people to wear masks and everything. Those states are not saving more people than those who are more free. People wear if they want it or not. For example, and those states who are kind of having more restrictions are much more in bad financial situation. There are more stores, more business closing down, more people losing their jobs because they're forcing people locking down. They're forcing people to wear masks. They're forcing people to do a lot of things. And they're not saving more people, and they're in much worse financial situation.
But the lockdowns are practical in China.
China is a different country, right? China is a
People always save money for future needs. So even if they cannot actually
in China you don't have an option. China you don't have an option. You need to do what the government says, right?
But actually there are some recompensate that people can work online in China. Yeah.
But not everyone can work online, right?
Yeah. But the government.
For example, what are those restaurants? Those small business owners, they have a business restaurant. If they close the door, they don't have money. They don't have a way to support their family. What's going to happen to them? And for example, we always think about big companies. They employ so much people, but the majority of people is always employed by the small company. For example, you can maybe have 50,000 people working for Amazon. But 50,000 people is a small percentage of millions of people in the whole country. So the millions of people usually work for a small business. So it is the small business who provides the economy healthy.
Well, I think I haven't really wear the shoes like you, so I can't.
Well, for example, I'm not being in the United States since the pandemic starts. I'm just following some news, some arguments. So both sides are arguing. We need to lock down, otherwise people are gonna die. And then others say, well, if you lock down, you're interfering in my freedom. I don't want it to be locked down. And now we have, after 2 years of the pandemics, we have some data to analyze. So those states who actually did lock down, make the business close the doors, they did not save more people. Sometimes people even die more in those states than those who are actually didn't lock down.
But not because of the pandemic.
Yeah, they want to lock down because of the pandemic. Yes.
No, I mean the people died not because of the pandemic, because maybe they are hungry, they are starved to death or other things, not because of the disease.
Yes, okay, people keep dying for all these reasons, yes.
But maybe I think the government can spare some money for the needy.
Yes.
In recompensate. And that's what Chinese government is doing. You know, during the pandemic, Chinese government has constructed many
hospitals. Yes, I have heard about it. Yes.
Yeah, and they will give subsidy or recompensate, or I don't know how to say that. They will treat the patients for free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there may not be so big financial problems for the patients.
Okay.
Yeah. China is really safe. Yeah, in my view.
Yeah, this is why I'm not going to Brazil. Right now, Brazil is a much worse situation I'm gonna stay here this year again. But there's some cases in Guangzhou. Guangzhou is locked down right now. It's closed right now.
Yeah, it is a mega city.
Yeah.
So many people. Mega city.
But the pandemic is kind of worse there.
Yeah.
It's closed down.
Yeah.
I wanted to go there, right? So my girlfriend told me, oh, the situation here is kind of bad right now. They find a lot of new cases there in Guangzhou. Guangzhou is very close to Shenzhen.
So you have to.
So I don't know my chances of going there anymore because right now Guangzhou is locked down.
So you may don't have the access to get in.
Yes. So I actually don't know if I will be able to go there after all.
So what will you do if you can't go there?
I'm just gonna keep my life and keep.
Stay.
Yeah, they're probably gonna transfer me somewhere else. I don't know where it would be yet.
Why not choose to stay here?
Well, the thing is, the contract is getting to an end here. It's gonna finishing, and they are not renewing it. So I need to go somewhere else. If I have the decision in my hands, I probably would stay. I like it here. And they have been doing this for a whole time. So I'm here in China 3 years, and this is my 5th place. Now I'm going for the 6th place.
So you will only stay here for 1 year because your contract is for 1
No,
year.
I'm renewing every year. So I'm gonna renew this year again, but they're probably gonna send me somewhere else. I mean, the company have a contract with the university, and now this contract is also ending. This is why I may not stay here.
It will be decided by your company or our school, or they will
Well,
negotiate together.
they need to renew the contract if I was supposed to for me to stay here.
So you can choose by yourself.
Actually, I'm not working for the university. I'm working for Beijing International Education Institute, and they are the ones who have agreements with the university. And they told me the agreement with this university is finishing this semester. So they might relocate me to another university, or they still have the agreement going on. This is why I'm moving away anyway. Even though if I'm not going to Shenzhen, I'm going away anyway to another place.
I suppose it's a good job for you. You like
Yes,
traveling and meet new.
Well, it's not that I like traveling, but it's okay. I'm gonna go to a new place, make new friends. That's all. I'm gonna get to know different university, I guess.
So if you have a choice to choose whatever you like to do, what will you choose?
Shenzhen, to go there. go and teach in Shenzhen because I want to meet her. But now I don't know if that will be possible or not.
So teaching is your ideal job, right?
I like teaching a lot, but for example, since I came here in China, I do have a lot of free time. So I'm doing an online business as well. I'm going to be publishing a book in Amazon in a few months. So I'm writing the book, I'm researching, doing a lot of things like that.
Wow.
And I know, for example, you can buy from Amazon here, right? So Amazon gives you a code to distribute to other people so they can get your book for free. So if you are interested, when I publish my book, I send you a code for you. You can get it for free.
Okay.
But I only
in Amazon or in Kindle?
In Amazon. Yes, or you can download in Kindle.
Okay.
But if I do this, I want to ask you to read the book and make a review. If I can put a review on their website in the Amazon.
I will certainly support you, but maybe if I have enough free time.
Yes, that's yes.
My reviews only.
Yes,
if
sure.
Yeah. You may be patient enough because I'm always busy preparing my exams and competition.
Yeah, I'm not gonna finish the book before the end of the semester. You're gonna probably be in vacation.
So what will the book about?
It's about marketing.
Marketing.
Yes. I'm actually working on 2 books. One of them is about marketing, and the other one is about SEO. Search engine optimization. When you do online marketing, you kind of have to do this search engine optimization. When you look something in the internet, if your website goes ranking first, you have more chances of people looking at at you, right?
Well, it seems that it is very professional. It's about very professional fields. Economic?
It's not economics. It's about marketing. SEO is about marketing.
I'm afraid. I mean, I can I maybe I can't understand the book.
For example, when you go to the internet, you're looking for information, right? Information or something to buy, right? Maybe, for example, you have a problem at home, and then you want to solve the problem, or maybe you want to what can you do to train your dog? Maybe you're gonna search in the internet, like say, dog training, and they're gonna list a lot of websites. They're gonna list books. They're gonna list videos, right? Maybe, for example, you're gonna buy this book, and then you're gonna look only for the first results, or you put there the books on dog training,
Yeah.
and then you're gonna show up the first results.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be looking the 10th page.
Yes.
You're just gonna be looking the first results, right? You don't have time to look all the results. You're not gonna scroll down too much. So if your chances of appearing the first results are increased, you maybe sell more. So as a company, they may want to learn how to do SEO. So they're ranking their websites, their books, their whatever in the first results of the search engine. And these are the books about techniques, so you can increase your ranking. So be showing the first few pages, or I mean first few results. You need to be showing the first page. If you show up in the first page, your chances of selling is much higher.
Yeah, I think it's the same principle in online shopping and or other booking apps. The people can only see the top items.
Yes, because people don't have time to be looking all the options, right? They only look the first few options.
And many traders will give money to people and ask them to book their rooms or buy their things, and they will give them some money in return. Their position will rise.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is the subject. SEO means exactly like that. Search engine optimization. So you do things that is gonna raise your position.
Let me check the time. Maybe we can go for dinner.
Yes, this is what I asked you before. You wanna go for dinner?
Nope, I think I go back to my dog.
Oh, okay. You wanna go back? Okay. Yes, no problem. Yeah. I don't want to keep you here. Yes, you can go.
Are you not hungry or?
Now I'm gonna go eat in the canteen. Yes.
So
Let's go together. You're gonna leave this? Oh, forget it. No. Yes. Forget it.
So are you going?
I'm going this way. Yes, I'm going this way. Yes.